Okay, so we're back in the shop here. Like I said, I'm gonna try to punch out a 5/8 hole. Damn. On this 1/2 inch that I made 1/2 inch stock. What's funny is I'm a little off on the 1/2 inch side, but all I did was use a tape measure and my portaband and almost cut out perfectly square 1/2 inch chunks. And I did it 4 times in a row. And man, those things are dang close. They're not perfectly square, but man, are they close. Anyways, so I welded up a spacer, and then I'm gonna try to weld that reasonably flat on there, and then I'm gonna punch that out with the annular. Okay, so here's the mag drill. You'll want to do all this stuff obviously without it plugged in, and if you do, this is a 5/8 pin that I'm putting in. I need to see how close I am here. So 5 divided by 8, that gives me in inches, but then I need to do 25.4. So that's a little over 16 millimeters what it is. So I've got a 15 millimeter annular. And then I'll have to use my carbide burr to make it fit properly. So we'll go ahead and swap out for the 15 millimeter, and this is the Nitokoki. It does fit welded, but this has the quick chuck. And then I'm going to opt to use lubricant this time. This will stop and allow the fluid flow once we get going here. Than having to grind off a little bit of weld, I have just made myself a pin boss. And it's gonna fit this 5/8 piece, but I'm gonna have to carbide burr it out first. Before I sit here and do this to all of them, I wanna make sure this works. But this is 3/8 that's here, and this is all wallowed out. And I want to basically increase how much material thickness. Oops. I want to increase the material thickness so I got more support when that pin goes through. I think that's gonna work. Got 3 more to make. Wheel. So here's the deal. I broke that annular. So I just took carbide burr and am making it so I can accept the 5/8 rod and make these little bushings. They're not perfect. I think they'll work though. So I tack welded the other ones here. I'll round them out until it accepts the bar stock. And then we'll go ahead and get them welded onto the plow. So I got my electric burr bit because I do have a battery one, but It's takes a little too long. It's not as powerful. And then, like I've always said before, I freaking hate burr bits. They make a mess. They make sharp burrs that get onto everything. So I make sure that I use my PPE. That means safety glasses, face shield, leather gloves, coverings, all of it, because burr bits are awful, actually. Not a fan. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. So not ideal, not how I wanted to do it, but you know what, it freaking works. So now I can take each one of these, if they all fit, and they're probably not super round, but they work. All right, so I'm just gonna tack it in place where it's at. Got the pin in, I got it mounted on both sides. Pretty hefty tack. There we go. Again, not clean, that's okay. I just want those to stay there so I can weld them fully without the cylinder in it. You get a couple tacks in. That's pretty horrible tack. That's better. I don't know why it's so bad. I mean, I do, it's a little flux core welder. I just need that to hold together long enough I can take it out and stick weld it.
All right, we're gonna pause a minute for doing the fabrication on the blade side, and I really need to start working on the mount. So it took a minute to kind of figure out how I wanted to put the mount in here. I decided that I don't want to do individual mounts on either side. I'm gonna make one central pin that goes through the entire thing.
Okay, so I had to chip off a couple of pieces of slag from when I cut this out with the torch. But here's what the overall bar is going to look like, or kind of what I meant. And this is what this entire piece will pivot on. So I'm going to take my tube stock and I'm going to roughly measure, and I came at about 2.5 inches for that. So I'm going to cut a 2.5 inch chunk and I'm going to fit it in here. And I will do that to both sides. Slip the pin all the way through. I'll clamp that tight. So that way it's, squeezed on the tube. And this keeps this all aligned. At least that part is in line. Then I can be certain that this part's correct. All right, so I got my 2.5 inch chunk cut here. 2.5 inch chunk cut there. So this is square. But I was worried about fitting this in here and pulling the ear in. So I cut this to the exact width of what this is here. For now, this is gonna get cut down a little bit because it's not gonna fit that exact. But I wanted it to be exact for this part. So I fit this in between here, put this in here, and now I'm clamping it tight. And basically from this OD to that OD is the same as up here. So essentially, it's hard to tell with that, but I'm square on the outside and the inside diameter for both. So yeah, now I'm gonna weld that outer piece, this outer piece, pull this pin out, and then I'll cut that down a little bit. I need to get it out of there, but I'll cut it down a little bit because that is the piece that's going across the bottom of the tractor. But at least this part will be done, essentially. And hopefully, if this isn't too far off, this should just slip right in. Oh yeah, that's way off. Poop. Trying to find the least invasive way to fix this. You can see that third ear is lower than the rest. That's messing up my alignment. So I need this, I need that ear to come up. Debate now, I want to fix that. I think what I'll do is probably cut that piece, line it back up, and then re-weld it back in. It's the best I can think of without getting too nutty. All right, so here we are. This is the part where I think this is going to get more fun, more interesting, more into the area of not my expertise. I'm not really a fabricator either, but we're going to get into the hydraulics part of this. I have this mostly mocked up. I got my cylinders. All I have them is tacked in. I will have to finish welding all that in. But I wanted to, one, make sure I got everything lined up. Got that mostly in place. But I've got a surprise. Ha ha ha. I picked up a hydraulic control valve. And when you buy this stuff, this is Amazon find. When you buy this stuff, you really, really have to read the descriptions. Now, my hydraulics, I would consider fair. I am not a hydraulic guru by any stretch of the imagination, but I understand a little bit. What I believe I have bought is an open center. So P for pump. That means that there is an opening from pump to tank. And this will continuously flow. Then, when you select your hydraulic function, it will go to the appropriate section. Now, this is a 4-way, 3-position. Now, let's think about that a second. Let's think about that a second. I don't need a 4-way. but these are single acting cylinders. So what I have to create is a way for it to make pressure to push out. This is spring return, so I have to allow it to open back to tank. But I don't want to do that unless I select that position, because they do have valves that exist where when you put pressure on this, that all sections are returned to tank. I don't think that's what I have here. I believe, and this is the part that's unclear, but I believe when I select this, it will apply pressure to one or the other and allow the other to return. Because it's single acting, I only need to put pressure on one of these. The other one is going to tee into tank. Same for the other side. So that way when I apply, when I go one way, this has pressure. When I go the other way, it allows the pressure side to return to tank. Pretty sure that's what I've got. We'll figure that here in a minute. And then from there, I need to figure out mounting. What was cool about this I didn't realize is I can mount these levers in multiple different ways, which means that I can kind of keep this lower profile, you know. However, I can mount it like this. I can mount it like that. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways I can do this. I need to probably look more at accessibility for my hydraulics of how to get this plumbed, for one, and then the comfort of being able to operate it from the operator's compartment, because I don't want to have to reach over this lever. I was actually thinking about, bringing it all the way back here, which would be kind of cool, but I think horribly inconvenient with the hydraulic lines. So we'll figure something out. I might even, make something down here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not sure. We'll get there.
Well, that's all I have for you on this video for our plow project. I'm at work here replacing a slew bearing on an Ultra Boom 135. And just thought I would show you kind of what my work week looks like. Been busy doing that kind of stuff, getting ready for winter coming, trying to get all the big stuff knocked out. But that's it for me. We'll see you guys next time on Fixed Ish.